Alfonso Cahero, A Journey into Finance History. Chapter 85, Global Push for Infrastructure Renewal, 2020s. Investments aim to modernize and sustainably improve infrastructure. The world found itself at a crossroads, teetering on the brink of a monumental crisis. Decades of neglect and underinvestment had taken their toll on the global infrastructure landscape. From the towering skyscrapers of bustling cities to the quaint cobblestone streets of rural villages, signs of decay and disrepair were unmistakable. Bridges sagged under the weight of neglect, roads resembled obstacle courses more than thoroughfares, and public transit systems groaned under the strain of outdated technology. As the 2020s dawned, the urgency of the situation became impossible to ignore. Reports of infrastructure failures and accidents filled the headlines with alarming regularity. The once proud symbols of progress had become glaring reminders of systemic neglect. The time for action was long overdue, and the world could no longer afford to delay. Amidst the growing clamor for change, a rallying cry emerged from the halls of power and the streets alike. Leaders from government, business, and civil society joined forces to address the pressing need for infrastructure renewal. They recognized that this was not merely a matter of convenience or aesthetics. It was a question of survival. The outdated infrastructure posed a threat to economic growth, environmental sustainability, and public safety. From the bustling corridors of the United Nations to the quiet chambers of local councils, the message was clear. The time for action was now. Communities across the globe mobilized, demanding accountability and meaningful change from their elected representatives. The groundswell of public support could no longer be ignored, and leaders were forced to heed the call. In response to the growing crisis, governments around the world embarked on ambitious infrastructure renewal projects. Billions of dollars were allocated to upgrade roads, bridges, ports, airports, and public transportation systems. These investments were not seen as mere expenses, but rather as investments in the future. They aimed to create jobs, stimulate economic growth, and enhance the quality of life for citizens. Construction crews worked around the clock, breathing new life into the aging infrastructure that had long been neglected. Cranes dotted the skyline as new bridges rose from the ashes of their predecessors, and highways were widened to accommodate the ever-increasing flow of traffic. The hum of progress filled the air, a testament to the collective determination to build a better future. As the world grappled with the existential threat of climate change, the push for infrastructure renewal took on a green hue. Sustainable practices and renewable technologies became the cornerstone of modernization efforts as leaders sought to reduce the carbon footprint of their communities. Solar panels adorned rooftops, wind turbines spun gracefully in the distance, and electric vehicles glided silently along the streets. The transition to green infrastructure was not without its challenges, but the benefits were undeniable. Cleaner air, reduced emissions, and greater energy independence were just a few of the rewards reaped by those who embraced the green revolution. As the world raced towards a more sustainable future, the once daunting task of infrastructure renewal began to feel like a beacon of hope in an uncertain world. In the quest for infrastructure renewal, technology emerged as a powerful ally. From advanced materials to cutting-edge construction techniques, innovation paved the way for more efficient and sustainable infrastructure solutions. Engineers and scientists pushed the boundaries of what was possible, harnessing the power of artificial intelligence, robotics, and 3D printing to revolutionize the way we build and maintain our roads, bridges, and buildings. Drones soared through the sky, conducting aerial surveys and inspecting infrastructure for signs of wear and tear. Autonomous vehicles roamed the streets, delivering supplies and materials to construction sites with unmatched precision. Meanwhile, underground sensors monitored the health of critical infrastructure in real time, alerting authorities to potential issues before they escalated into emergencies. As technology continued to evolve, so too did the possibilities for infrastructure renewal. The once insurmountable challenges of the past began to seem more manageable as humanity forged ahead into a future where innovation knew no bounds. With each new project and innovation, a vision for the future began to take shape. It was a future where infrastructure was not merely a means to an end, but a reflection of society's values and aspirations. Cities became vibrant hubs of innovation and creativity, powered by sustainable energy sources and connected by efficient public transit systems. Rural communities flourished, empowered by access to reliable infrastructure that enabled economic growth and social cohesion. But beyond the tangible benefits lay a deeper truth. Infrastructure renewal was about more than just bricks and mortar. It was about building communities, fostering resilience, and creating a legacy for future generations to inherit. It was a vision of a world where everyone had access to the opportunities and resources they needed to thrive, regardless of their background or circumstances. As this vision took hold, it inspired people from all walks of life to come together and work towards a common goal. From engineers and architects to policymakers and activists, each played a vital role in shaping the future of infrastructure, and by extension, the future of humanity itself. Yet, the path to infrastructure renewal was not without its challenges. Bureaucratic red tape, political gridlock, and funding shortages threatened to derail even the most well-intentioned projects. Public opposition and NIMBYism, not in my backyard, also posed significant hurdles, as communities grappled with the inevitable disruptions that came with construction and development. But in the face of adversity, resilience prevailed. Leaders found creative solutions to navigate the complexities of the modern world, forging partnerships and alliances to overcome obstacles that once seemed insurmountable. Through perseverance and determination, they pushed forward, refusing to let setbacks derail their vision for a brighter future. As the world emerged from the shadows of the crisis, a new mantra emerged: build back better. It was a call to action, to not merely restore what had been lost, but to reimagine and reinvent the world around us. From disaster-stricken communities rebuilding in the aftermath of hurricanes and wildfires to urban centers revitalizing neglected neighborhoods, the principles of resilience and sustainability guided every decision and every action. With each brick laid and each road paved, a new chapter in the story of humanity was written, one of resilience, innovation, and hope. And as the world looked towards the horizon, it saw not just the challenges that lay ahead, but the endless possibilities that awaited those bold enough to seize them. In an increasingly interconnected world, the need for global collaboration became more apparent than ever before. No longer could nations afford to tackle the challenges of infrastructure renewal in isolation. Instead, they needed to come together, sharing knowledge, resources, and expertise to address the pressing issues facing humanity. International organizations like the United Nations played a pivotal role in facilitating this collaboration, providing a platform for dialogue and cooperation among nations. Through initiatives like the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, countries work together to address the most pressing challenges of our time, from poverty and inequality to climate change and environmental degradation. But perhaps the most profound example of global collaboration came in the form of infrastructure projects that spanned continents and crossed borders. From the Silk Road Economic Belt to the African Union's Agenda 2063, these ambitious undertakings sought to connect nations and regions in ways never before imagined, fostering economic growth and prosperity for all. As humanity grappled with the consequences of its own actions, a newfound appreciation for the natural world emerged. Instead of viewing nature as something to be conquered or exploited, people began to see it as a partner in the quest for sustainable development. Rivers were restored to their former glory, wetlands were rehabilitated, and green spaces proliferated in urban areas. But perhaps the most transformative change came in the form of green infrastructure, the integration of natural systems and processes into the built environment. From green roofs and living walls to rain gardens and permeable pavement, these innovative solutions help to mitigate the impacts of climate change, reduce pollution, and enhance the quality of life for residents. As humanity learned to harness the power of nature, a new era of infrastructure renewal dawned, one that was rooted in sustainability, resilience, and respect for the world around us. At the heart of infrastructure renewal lay a simple but powerful truth. It was about people. Communities were not just passive recipients of infrastructure projects. They were active participants in their design, implementation, and maintenance. Their voices mattered, and their needs and aspirations shaped the decisions that were made. From participatory budgeting to community-led design charrettes, innovative approaches to public engagement empowered citizens to take ownership of the infrastructure that served them. They became partners in the process, working hand in hand with planners, engineers, and policymakers to build a future that reflected their values and priorities.